back to the Solutions Lab. I'm Chris Phillips. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am very excited to be here today to talk about a topic that I've loved talking about for some time, and a product line that I've loved using for some time. We're going to be talking about the Intel NUCs here today, and we've got a couple of great guests to talk about the latest and greatest from Intel on their NUC products. To begin, we have Sante Reyes. He is a business development manager for Intel. Sante, how's it going?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Pretty good.
It's great to be here.
Kevin will from DNH will also be joining us a little bit later in the broadcast. Hopefully, he's in Intel sales support. He will be talking a little bit later in the presentation. But we have a lot of information to get to before we get to Kevin. But before we do all of that, I want to do some housekeeping for you guys. Throughout this broadcast, we will be taking questions. If you have any questions, there is a Q&A window that I just highlighted for you guys. Go ahead and ask any questions you have as they come up. If we can answer them immediately, we will. If we have to wait till the end of the broadcast, we will go ahead and do that as well. We also have resources available for this broadcast, a separate PowerPoint presentation, a PDF on work fronts, on gaming, and on digital signage. Go ahead and browse that either during the presentation or after the presentation as resources. Again, we're just trying to get you as much information as we can over the course of the next 60 minutes. But with all that housekeeping out of the way, Santi, I'm excited to hear about what is new with Intel NUCs. So please take it away.
I'm glad you are, and I hope everybody is. So thank you very much. It's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, and it's great to work with the DNH team. So let's start. Let's talk about the Intel NUCs, the latest products, and some of the solutions that we have in the market. So the Intel NUC, the total mini PC solution. So let's start here. And I usually start my presentation with this because some of you may not be aware of what even the NUC is. So we have been in the market for 10 years now, and we have been bringing different alternatives to the market. We started it with a 4x4 product, a mini PC, and we have been evolving from that. And that's why we have two options right now to split in our vision, and it's, hey, how do we continue bringing the innovation that we have traditionally do it, and how do we increase those possibilities for our customers? So what you have at the bottom is our traditional products, the semi-configured or fully configured products coming directly from us, and when you have on top, it's something we started to work on like 2 years ago, where we expanded the possibilities by adding what we call compute elements and what it's called modularity. And we will be talking about that later. And within that, we also have some boards and options for you to do different implementations and create different solutions. And we have been working with ecosystem partners to enable those possibilities in general worldwide. And of course, we keep our main purpose, that is to take advantage of every single technology that Intel has there. So the latest CPUs, chipsets, of course, Ethernet ports, Wi-Fi, Thunderbolt, graphics, and of course, vPro technology. So you name it, we have different options within these product lines. One of the things that we have been doing is we have been evolving and doing it for good and for the planet. In this case, we have been focusing a lot on how do we keep our products sustainable? How do we make sure that we are managing our products in a way that we are bringing possibilities to our customers? And many governments are actually starting to request some products or some capabilities on the products to be sustainable. So you can probably see here what we have. So in terms of packaging, we have in our latest 12 generations 100% recyclable packaging. We also have 99.5% of all our returned materials out of landfills. We are making sure that everything is taken care of, and we are repairing returning, reusing, recycling 99.5 of our products that are being sent back to us. So you have more information here, but basically we are moving into this direction, and you will be seeing more updates on this in the upcoming or in the near future. So the Intel NUC is more than a regular PC, and we probably started 10 years ago more like a mini PC, but today we have been evolving and we are more than that. So we have been working with our ecosystem of partners to make sure that when we launch a product to the market, we have previously worked with them on the software side or on the hardware side. How that product that is coming to the market is taking full advantage of what our ecosystem partners are doing on software or on hardware. We offer 3-year warranty in all our products, and the beauty of this is most of our products are semi-configured. What that means is you have to add memory, storage, and OS. Mm-hmm. I trust my product that much that you can open it up and you can add your memory, your storage, and I don't even know how you are doing it. But I support 3-year warranty on that. So in terms of post-sales, I have, of course, support in different languages, a worldwide recognition in terms of how Intel manages those post-sales. And the other part that is relevant here is the product that the different products that we will be talking about later are products that you can find worldwide. So even if you deploy a solution today in Canada with my products, and you want to expand later to another country, you can. It's a recipe that you can replicate, copy paste, and say, hey, I have another partner in Germany, and I want you to deploy the same recipe that I have. These are the elements or the different components of that recipe. And being NUC one of them, we have certifications worldwide for our products, and it's exactly the same product. So that is a great advantage. So beyond what I have already mentioned, so why would you want an Intel NUC? And I'm missing a piece here that is key, and it's reliability. Our products are really reliable. The quality that we offer in our products is great. And our customers are trusting us more and more because they have been deploying solutions in the field worldwide. And they are seeing that those products are not failing, or if they are, it's a really, really low failure rate. So super small, which is what many are looking today. How do I get a lot of performance at the CPU and at the GPU side in a small form factor? This is the answer. You have a really cool and sustainable product, and also you have the latest IOs that you can find in the market. So Thunderbolt, the latest USBs, USB-C, USB 3.2, 3.1, Wi-Fi, M.2, etc. And finally, in terms of CPUs, of course, this is what we do, from Celeron to Core i9 today, including vPro options, Core i5, Core i7, and Core i9 vPro. So we have multiple options here. And in terms, of course, of technologies as our graphics, we have a product that is coming, and I will be talking briefly about that one later. So we have different possibilities, and this is not to complicate things, but to offer options to our partners. So some of you may just focus on a couple, and some of you may just focus in one. But we have different alternatives for different segments, and that is exactly what we're trying to do with these products. So what you have on the right are probably the products where you will get the more GPU performance and also the more CPU performance, because they are more focused on the gaming or enthusiast segments. And you have CPUs as Core i7 and Core i9, and the one at the bottom you have NVIDIA graphics, for example, embedded in that product, and the one on the top you can actually add graphics if you want. We have the traditional product that is the NUC Pro that you see there. That product we have been launching different generations. We are in our 12th generation today, but it has been a consistent product, and we have been improving that product during the last years, and that's the product that we sell the most today. If you are looking for an entry-level product, it's what you have at the bottom on the left, the NUC Essential, where you have Celeron and Pentium options. And of course, if you have a way, if you are an integrator, if you have a way to design solutions, we have three options that could work very well for you. So the boards that are coming from our NUC products, and you also have the ones that are on the third column there, that are our rugged options that are using the compute elements that we will be talking about later. So focus segments, we have been working on these segments in particular. It doesn't mean that we are not working on others, but for our products, for what we're bringing to the market, for the discussions that we're having with customers, these are the segments that we have been working the most. So the edge one, where we have different options on retail, banking, hospitality, transportation, video surveillance or safety, healthcare, and life science. So different alternatives there. And we have products that you can use in those segments as well. So, and you will see more of this coming. Hey, how do we bring more alternatives to the market that are meant for these specific segments? And if you are interested, of course, we can go deeper in a follow-up conversation. So these are our transitions to our 12th generation products. You probably know more about the ones that I have on the left, but what we are transitioning is what we have on the right. So these are the latest products that we have in the market. So they are based on our 12th generation, 13th generation will be coming next year. And right now we have these three products that you have there in a red rectangle coming this quarter. So the first one and the last one are already launched. And the one in the middle, the 12th generation Dragon Canyon, that is a workstation based on Core i7 and Core i9 vPro, that one will be launched at the beginning of Q4. At the end of Q3.
I actually
go ahead.
Real quick. There was a question that came in right before the broadcast. I think it'd be good to bring up based on that last 2022 transition slide. Bill was asking that he says he loves the NUC products, but he is wondering when Intel is going to get behind having vPro in every model in every generation, because in the past vPro has been something that has been in either every other generation or kind of just a targeted thing. You ever see a day where vPro will be available on every model?
Of course, if we're talking about Core i5 and Core i7 or Core i9, that is where vPro is available. Yes, I believe that the company is moving into that direction. It is relevant, and in the products that are focused on the segments that require vPro, we have options with vPro.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you. So let's talk about our gaming products. As I mentioned, we have been offering different alternatives for the market. And even though these products are focused on gaming, since we're offering a lot of CPU and GPU power, the products are also being used in, for example, artificial intelligence, since they can accommodate this product easily behind a specific place to start engaging and having this product at the edge as an alternative. So why this product for gaming? It's a small form factor. We actually have been participating in different events, the PAX event, East West, Intel Extreme Masters, where we have been sponsoring this year some of the events. And the feedback that we have received is totally great. They love the product. They love the form factor. It is an 8-liter product with a lot of performance, the latest technologies on Thunderbolt. It even has a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, the latest Wi-Fi 6E, and of course, Core i9. So you are getting a lot of performance in that form factor, and you can actually add a 12-inch desktop discrete graphic card to that product. So that's where you are getting that combination of a Core i9, for example, and a 3060, 3080, or whatever is NVIDIA launching later. And in terms of the feedback of the small form factor, don't be scared of seeing the size of this product because you are actually getting a lot of performance. And in these events, the gamers have been testing it and they love it. One of the advantages is that it's really mobile. You can take that product. It's an 8-liter. It's not that you can put it in your purse or your backpack, but it's really easy to move from one place to another. And that's something that customers are starting to realize and they like about it.
We've
So this is the
had
product.
demos of that gaming Nook running like Overwatch on our show floors. It does a fantastic job playing those games. Just everything you would really want for something that's that mobile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to consider that you have to dissipate the heat that you're getting from a Core i9, from the GPU. So you
Yeah.
need the thermal solution, the power supply that support that. So yeah, thank you for that, Chris. So we have what we do is we design this product from scratch. So we have thermal engineers, we have design engineers, we have a lot of engineers involved in the design on each one of our products. We have teams that design these products together. And even though it's that small, you are getting all that and it's supported well. And you have a 650 watt power supply into the product. And as I mentioned, you are getting the possibility of Wi-Fi 6E and 10 gigabyte LAN. So it is a great option. If you haven't heard about it or if you haven't explored, please ask your DNH representative for more information. We have the product available if that's another question, and we can actually ship it right now. So it's good to talk about our products, but it's better when somebody talk about them because it's more believable, right? So these are two quotes. You have more here, but I wanted to highlight these two quotes where one is they are talking about the amazing piece of engineering that this product is, because that's exactly what we do. We bring a lot of innovation to the market in a small form factor. So that's what you are getting here. And second, hey, it's offering flexibility closer to a DIY PC. So you can add memory storage, the graphic card, of course, the OS, and you have different options within those to start manipulating or working on the system and adding things to it. It has lights that you can turn on or off. So it's a great option if you are looking for a gaming device or your customers are looking for one. This product is not on 12th generation yet, but the 12th generation is coming in Q4. I just wanted to bring this as an alternative where you have a combination of a Core i7 and NVIDIA 2060. The next generation that is coming in Q4 will have ARC graphics. So it will have a Core i7 with ARC. And we will be talking about that in a future, probably, engagement. But if you are looking for a small device that you can put behind a screen where you are getting all that power on the CPU and GPU front, this is a great option for you to consider. Again, it has the latest Wi-Fi, it has multiple USBs, and of course, it's a 1.3 liters. So it's pretty tiny for what you are getting there.
Dan had a question regarding the gaming SKUs, the gaming Nooks on a technical level, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer it, but we'll go and see what we can do. He was wondering if the gaming Nooks include integrated graphics, and if they do, are they always disabled when external graphics cards are added?
They include the graphics, and I'm not totally sure if they are totally disabled when you add the graphic, the 3060 or whatever graphics. I think the
worry, the worry is if it's got integrated graphics and then you add the external graphic card after the fact, and then start the game. Is it coming from the external card or is it coming from the internal graphics? Because some games don't allow you to have a drop down to tell you which one it's coming from. So I get the worry there, Dan. Like Sasha said, Sandy said, we can get back to you on an answer there. I'm sure it's a simple fix.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Yeah. So let's talk about other products. As I have been mentioning, we have products from Celeron to Core i9. So these are the Celeron products. Celeron and Pentium, we have multiple options. Celeron dual core, Celeron quad core, Pentium quad core. And we even have within these options an option with 64 gigabytes eMMC. So you are looking for a thin client or a solution that where you require just small storage. That could be it. And you can add more storage if you want because it has M.2. The memory, of course, you will have to add it there, and the OS. There is a connector on the first picture that you see on the left that is beside the two USBs, the blue USBs that you have there, and it's a rubber cover. That rubber cover has behind an external 9-pin front panel header that allows you to put that device behind the scenes, behind, I don't know, if you want to just lock it somewhere or put it in a kiosk or something, and you want to expose the power button out, you can do it through that connector. So these are features that some of our customers have been asking for, and that have been implemented, and that's why it's there. You don't need it, you don't have to use it, but it's an alternative that we have. And in this new version, we have 6 USBs versus the previous one where we were supporting just 4, and 2 HDMIs as well. So it's and it's also thinner because it just supports M.2 storage solutions. Okay. So this is the product that I was mentioning before. This is our most traditional product, the one that we have been launching since we started. Is the most relevant one for us, and many of you are probably aware of this. Today we have the 11th generation in the market. We just released the 12th generation a couple of weeks ago, so this is a totally new product. It's taking advantage of what the 12th generation is bringing to the market in terms of the new technologies. So you have the efficiency cores and the performance cores on these products. In this case, 4 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores. So for the workloads that you will probably be doing, this is a great alternative. You have the support for 4 displays, 4K displays, 2 through Thunderbolt 4 and 2 through HDMI. You have, in terms of Ethernet, you have 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. And in terms of the possibilities, you also have, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's an oval at the bottom of the device. And that oval is what we call an expansion bay. That expansion bay, it's there because we have multiple headers internally, USB headers, serial headers, that are not necessarily exposed because not everybody needs them, but you could take advantage of those and adding things to the solution if you need to. But usually our customers take it as it is, and they just add memory storage and OS and just deploy the solution or the product if you are doing either an SMB or an enterprise. And again, this product comes with vPro. So wherever we're launching product with Core, we will be having vPro as well, just to answer that question that I had previously. And it also offer multiple possibilities. And let's talk about those possibilities. So we have been talking about product. Let's see how those products could be used. And I wanted to bring this one because these products have been used in multiple ways. But I guess one of the most common ones is on the retail side, as digital signage, as a kiosk, as a point of sale solution. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. So let's talk about the retail transformation and how is that could help you in the near future. So you are one of those consumers. We have been all dealing with what the pandemic is, and that has changed multiple things. And one of them is how customers or consumers interact with retail in general, because they want now different experiences. They don't just want to go to the store. They want to keep ordering online as well. But they are looking for an omni-channel journey. They are looking to that everything works together, that if you have an application, that if you have a web page, that if you are offering something in the store, that if you are, I don't know, if you are multiplying your stores, even the point of sale solutions that you offer, that everything is seamlessly connected and working properly. And they have been expressing what is more relevant for them. So the consumers in general. And one of them is inventory. And I wanted to
Mhm.
bring this one because the inventory visibility is key for that omni-channel experience. You don't want to order something and then get something that you didn't want it. You went online and ordered something because you wanted that specific thing. But sometimes you get alternatives, and that is not necessarily what you were looking for, or you don't even get your order as you wanted because they didn't ship one of the products. So that is relevant, and I wanted to bring that because one of our customers or multiple of our customers have been doing with NUCs different options. So this is what is called a wine guru, and it's a customizable and it's interactive shopping assistant that is being deployed with Intel NUC. And the intent with this is to offer that experience. Hey, they will show you what they have in store, and they will give you the alternative that they have in store. Hey, I don't know, I like Cabernet, so what are the Cabernet options that you have? And this customer or this partner developed a solution that you can see here probably on the image, where the customer goes and interact with this. They don't have to ask a person that they probably don't feel comfortable. So why don't I try to figure out if this option that I'm evaluating works for me? And in terms of that omni-channel experience that I was mentioning, this is actually key. So how do I make sure that my inventory is updated? There is another partner of ours who created this robot. It's called Ciperi. And this partner is also using the Intel NUCs into the product. And is going through every single aisle of the supermarket or the store or whatever, and is reading what you have there. And is sending that information in real time to the cloud. And then, of course, that's communicated to the web page. So if you are ordering, you will understand if a product is in the store that you are ordering it from or not. So this is something that is working very well for some of the stores that have implemented, because they are bringing a better experience to their customers. And of course, they're increasing their sales because of this.
You mean I have Intel to blame for having to dodge those robots in the grocery store? Dang it, Intel! Why do you power everything?
You have some benefits from it.
Yes. Yes, because now my stuff's not out of stock all the time.
Yeah,
Most of the time,
exactly.
so.
Yeah. Um, the other one in terms of, and this is probably more traditional one, this is a traditional kiosk for restaurant. This was developed by this company called Zivelo. And it's a customized digital ordering kiosk. And as you may know, the main advantage of this is customers order more. The ASP, the average sales price is higher because customers just feel more comfortable ordering from the device and adding things to it and changing things. Um, so they have actually made the deployments with our products. And what you have on the left is what the customer is saying. And they basically find that this is a reliable product, as I was mentioning at the beginning. And it's easy just to take it from one of our distributors and just implement the solution. And it offers the quality, the 4K that they were looking, because they wanted stunning graphics in what they were deploying. So these are some of those examples. I have more, but I don't have that much time. So at least you understand what those products that I was mentioning before are doing in real life. Of course, you can use them in the SMB and enterprise as well. You can use them in vPro implementations as well. But some of those are used in different ways. Let's talk about modularity. That is probably new for many of you, and I wanted to go a little bit on this. So the compute element, it's something we launched 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and it's what you have on the right. That's the size of a credit card. It has the CPU, the chipset, the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the only thing, and the memory. It's basically missing the IOs that you will get from the chassis That's why I'm bringing that in this image on your left. And you also need storage and OS. But the beauty of elements, or the modularity that this brings, is you can scale, and in an easy way. You can move from Celeron to Core i7, or even I started with, for example, Core i5, and then I realized that I'm having a lot of technical issues in my stores, and that I'm not doing my updates on time, or that I'm having crashes because the image is not working properly. Then if that's the case, I might need vPro. And if I need vPro, I already bought the devices. How do I move to vPro? This is an easy way to do it. If you had an i5 and you want to move to i5 vPro, you just have to replace that compute element. And the same from one generation to another, and we'll be seeing that later, but right now we have 8, 11, and 12. And you can move from 8 generation to 12 generation. So the technology relevance is easy to just replace. So from moving from an old generation to a newer generation, and you can keep the chassis, the solution, the board, I don't know, you name it. You can put this element in many options. You just have to make sure that you have the connector, that is the yellow connector that you have there on your left of the compute element. So that's the flexibility that you are getting. And in terms of the total cost of ownership of the solution, it's actually good, because if you wanted to replace that element in the near future, again, you can keep that chassis, that kiosk, that point of sale. You just have to replace the power behind it. So different options and benefits that you can get from this modularity approach. If you are a partner that are looking for flexibility and in the solutions and designing solutions, this is a great alternative for you to evaluate. If you just need something out of the shelf, probably just go to the Intel NUCs, because those are the products for that. But if you believe that modularity and what it brings, and that possibility of scaling the solution, it's something that you like, this is what you should evaluating, and we can go deeper on those conversations if you would like. Just ping me. One of the things that customers have been finding the most, and I have an example later, is the standardization. Because they want not just a reliable product, but in many cases, when you are deploying solutions at the edge, you also want a product that you can keep during many years. And the fact that we are keeping the board or the chassis, and you are just giving them the possibility of upgrading the module or the compute element, that is something that it has been helping customers to do that standardization. They don't have to have one device inside of their kiosk and then another device with another brand inside of another kiosk, etc. They can just have one board, install the module at the end when they need it, and the performance that they needed, evaluating the solution that the customer is looking for. Okay. So I wanted to bring this because this shows what we have been doing, right? It shows that this product is here to stay. We are on our 12th generation right now. That is what you have there as hard base based on Alder Lake P. And we have a new generation confirmed that is coming next year. And it will be the same form factor that you see there, the same connector. So if you launch a solution with 8th generation and you want to move to 13th generation, let's assume that that's the name later, you can do it keeping the same chassis or board. This is the product and the features that it has. You from that yellow connector that you have on the right, in this case, in that metallic plate that you see there, you have 300 pins coming off that. I'm just bringing some solutions that enable some of the IOs that we have available, but some of those pins are being unused. And the flexibility that this gives you if you want to deploy or develop your own solution is amazing. You can just take one of the solutions that I have and add more boards into it if you want. Um, as I mentioned, it has the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, and the memory. And especially in 12th generation, we're offering a variety of memory options. So you have Core i3 with 8 and 16. You have Core i5 with 8 and 16, Core i7 with 16 and 32, et cetera, et cetera. So Celeron with 4 and 8. So you have different options if you're looking for that flexibility as well.
So we have a couple of people that are they're
Sure.
asking some more specific questions on this. Uh,
Yeah,
so
please.
to be 100% clear, these are basically little PCs that are the size of like you said credit cards that you plug into pre-approved chassis. So if you wanted to take one of those cards and put it into a laptop chassis, and let's say it was the
Yes.
8th gen version of that, you could then go ahead and use that laptop with the 8th gen processor, memory, all that stuff. But then 4 years down the road, you want to upgrade the system to a 12th gen. Well, you don't have to throw away that chassis anymore. You just pull out that card, put the 12th gen in, and go. Is that correct?
That is a totally fair statement. Yes.
Okay, so it's a little bit foreign to what some of the people are used to kind of how
Yes.
interacting with Duck. So I
It
want
is
to be
different.
clear
Let me
about
clarify. It's
yeah.
yes, yes. It's not necessarily, as I was saying, it's not necessarily for everybody, but it's good for the customers to understand the possibilities that we're bringing. And if they are, I don't know, if the government or anybody is looking for a sustainable solution, because this is the most sustainable product that we probably have today, because you can reuse both. Hey, I have
Yeah.
the element and it's working. I can just reuse that element in another solution if I want, or I can keep I can interchange each one of them, and that brings a great possibility in terms of sustainability.
Yes.
So I'm not going to stop here, but this you will have this. This is how this one of this evolution from 8 to 12 generation is compared. What are the differences? What are the memories that you are getting from 12 generation? You are getting DDR5, for example, and other capabilities. I'm not going to stop there. This actually adds to what you were saying, Chris. In terms of the chassis, you have that compatibility. So if I release these are the Intel chassis, because we are not the only ones doing chassis or boards, etc. I will be showing a slide later on that. But what Intel is bringing to the table are these options that you see here on the left. So we have chassis that are mini PCs, basically. You just have to add this, and you have a mini PC. And you have rugged options, IP50, fanless options that you just have to add that compute element into them. We have a laptop option as well, where the beauty of this is if you are an MSP and you want to support your customers, you can, let's say that the screen is getting it's broke. You take the new chassis to the place that you want to do the replacement. You change the element, of course, do some tweaks to the system, and you are good to go. And take that system that is broke back, probably repair it, and put it back into the pile of options that you have to just replace later if that happens to another internal customer.
Much easier than backing up the entire system and then restoring that backup onto a new one. You just take the system out and swap it, and you're good to go.
Exactly. So that's let's move forward. So I have been talking about this, how this brings a lot of possibilities for edge solutions, and the possibility of upgrading the system is just that. Um, as I was saying, Intel is bringing some options, but we are not bringing compute elements to the market for us. We're bringing compute elements for you, for our customers. And we don't have all the answers for compute elements because we don't have the capability of designing multiple solutions. And you may need, I don't know, 3 serial ports or 4 serial ports, or you need more Ethernet ports, or you need more USBs. And we have some options, but you are not necessarily getting those ports that you're looking for. And the compute elements is bringing that possibility. And that's why we have been working with ecosystem partners from third-party designers, OEMs, that are bringing alternatives, and those partners are there, and you have to buy the elements from us. So it's a great option. So if you are looking for fanless devices, if you are looking for, so you have, for example, this design on the first row, third column, it has different layers. So if you want just the first layer, fine, you can buy it. But if you want to start adding things, you can have that second layer because you are getting serial ports. Or you need more USBs, you add the third layer where you get more USBs. So that's the flexibility that Elements brings, and this is good for you at least to understand. So this is an example, and this is probably one that you know because it's a Canadian company. It's called Evertz, and they have this solution, a broadcasting solution, and they have been using the compute elements, and they have been, I will say, using the compute elements because of two main reasons. One is they found an option that it's bringing them the possibility of keeping the product for a longer period of time without making changes. So the chassis that they are using today and the elements that they are using today, it's ours, and we since we are launching the 13th generation, that means we're extending the life cycle of that chassis, and that is exactly what they were looking for. And the second one is because of that modularity, they are now evaluating other products and product lineups where they can start adding this to that, because they like the possibility of adding that element at the end for managing inventory levels, cost reasons, etc. So you have more details into this. There are other reasons, of course, but considering the time, I wanna make sure that I have time for answering questions later. So that's something that if you have been buying my products, you have probably been asking, hey, what are the products that are available and what are the ones that are probably constrained? We are in a much better situation today, and it's because we have been doing many things in the supply chain to improve what we are bringing to the market. So what you have on the left is what is ready to ship. It means if you order it right now, I can ship it right now. Basically takes, let's say, a week or so for me to ship it from my storage facilities to the world. And for Canada, it's probably around the same. So around 7 days, even less in some cases. In terms of products on allocation, that means that the product it's coming, that is there, but I'm not necessarily delivering the product immediately to you. And we are in a better shape today in terms of, hey, if you order a product from me today in any of these product lines, will probably take me between 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the product line, for me to give you that product. My recommendation in this case, if you want one of those products, please work with DNH and make sure that you are ordering the product, or that at least DNH has that product into their consideration to have in inventory. Because customers are placing orders and I have to fulfill those orders. So for you to get that product, please make sure that you are bringing the orders.
Yep. Real quick, as we kind of get near the end of the presentation and we're starting to come into the top of the hour, we have a lot of great questions that have come in. I want to encourage everyone to keep asking questions. As soon as when we're done here, we will get to all the questions. I see them, but let's get through the rest of this presentation and we'll get to the questions in a little bit.
Perfect. We're getting there. Thank you. So something that many of you may not know is, beside the hardware, we have been also working on, hey, how do we improve this or add value to our customers by adding software features? So we have created this Intel NUC Pro software suite where we have been starting to add certain things to it. And right now, what I wanted to talk about is two things that we are bringing in this software. One is the application monitoring. So basically what that allows you to do is to understand, you can monitor an application and understand. So talking about digital signage that we were talking before, hey, I want to make sure that my application is working the whole time. I want to make sure that it's not crashing. I want to make sure that it's not freeze. So for that, you have this application monitor where you can say, hey, this is the application that I wanna monitor, and I want to make sure that you are checking constantly on that application. If it is not working, relaunch the application. Or if the system is crashing, even reboot the system and bring it back on. So that is what this application monitoring allows. And it's a great feature if you want to explore it, and it's in this NUC Prof software suite. The other one for player failover, I wanted, and actually a teammate of mine helped me with this. This will help you understand how this works. This player failover is also for some digital signage applications or even some other applications, but for digital signage is great. So this is, let's say this is a traditional setup, right? Where you have one Intel NUC, one device per screen, right? And the screen is working, you have the one HDMI connected to those screens. But what we're bringing is the possibility of interconnecting those two NUCs and bringing that redundancy. How is that this works? Let's see an example. So the two systems are communicating and are understanding there is a bit between them. That bit tells them that the device is working and the screen is working, then therefore nothing is happening. But what happened when that bit is broken? When the system on the left, NUC A, that you see there, is not getting that bit. And is getting probably in this case, as an example, a blue screen on the NUC B that is on the right. Then what it will happen is the NUC A, the one on the left, and you see the green cables probably here, will take over. Okay, let me take over. You are presenting issues. Let me show what you were showing. And once the system is back, then they will detect that the bit is there, and therefore they will just get back to the normal deployment that you were trying to implement. So another great feature, these are things that we will be bringing more. If you have other requests, please bring them to us. We are actually, this is coming from our customers, from the feedback that we're getting from our customers. These are needs that are there, and we're trying to help you with those needs.
Yeah, that software suite, not only the failover, but the software suite, I know came directly from feedback that, people like even me just giving intel, going, hey, this NUC is running one application, and I need to know if that application fails, and they built it into a suite. So that's really awesome to see feedback manifests itself into features that is useful for us.
Thank you, Chris, for that feedback. Yes, we have been doing that a lot. We hear our customers, and that's something that many have called out when we are in meetings with them. So in terms of, and this is going to be brief, in terms of marketing, I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that we have trainings, that we have some promotions. If you are part of the IPA program, Intel Partner Alliance, we have what we call the points. And each time that you buy one of our Intel NUCs from D&H, you will be getting points because they will be reporting to us that if you are part, of course, of IPA, that you bought one of our units, and therefore you will be getting into your account those points. We have assets. You will have some links later. And we also enable co-marketing possibilities. So for the training, these are some of the examples. As you can see, we have the 12th generation already into this. We have new videos. We are making these training short that you can probably see here, 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. So you can understand what this product is about or the new products that are coming about. In terms of points, these are the Q3 point promotions. It doesn't mean that you are not getting the points for when you buy another NUC, but these are on top. So if you are looking for a good price point, this NUC 9 Extreme is an option. We have Core i5, Core i7, and Core i9. And we're offering on top of that price some extra points. So it's something for you to review and consider. And I wanted to make sure that, and Elements as well are bringing those extra points as a possibility. In what we call Marketing Studio, if you don't have access, you can request access. We have all the latest assets, web banners, videos, product information, technical information. There are many things that are pre-designed that you can tweak a little bit. And if you want to post that in your web page, that's possible. So take a look at that. And finally, I just wanted to mention that we have this co-branding program. We don't care if you use our brand or if you use your brand. But if you want to co-brand this, we have that possibility as well. And you can do a design for, or build with uh, an Intel NUC or Intel NUC elements. There are more details. You will have to sign a small agreement where you agree with certain terms and conditions on how to use our brand. But beside that, you can take advantage and say, hey, I have this solution deployed and it has Intel inside. Okay? And that was it, Chris. I don't know if you have additional questions that you want me to answer live. I'm here.
Yep, we do have some questions that did roll in over the course of this conversation. If
Perfect.
you guys have any additional questions as well, go ahead and ask them now. We're going to go through them right now. Adam wanted to know, is there any updates on the rugged NUCs? They have customers that need the dust and water resistant version of the NUCs, but he's finding it a little bit hard to run a current OS and programs with the current Celeron processor and 4 gigs of RAM that's specced into them. So is there any plans on upgrading the or first of all, go over the reason why that spec was chosen for the rugged NUCs, and then we'll kind of get into what options they have for a little bit more higher power.
So the NUC that he's referring to is an Intel NUC 8 rugged product. It has 4 gigabytes, 64. It offers possibilities of, if you are doing digital signage, to manage that device remotely and push just the content. It's just a player. You just need something really basic. That's one of the possibilities, and that's why that device is fanless and is also IP50, that specific one. Now, actually, that is a good picture. What you have on top, that it says NUC Rugged, that product supports from Celeron to Core i7, including vPro, with elements. It's IP50 as well. It's fanless, and it gives them different options. They have dual Ethernet products. They have an expandability option for them as well. We don't have today a water-resistant product, but as I was showing in one of the slides, what we have been doing with the ecosystem, we have partners that have developed options that are IP 65 or 67. I'm not totally sure, one of those, but it's water resistant. It's not that you can submerge the device, but it has water resistance capabilities. So if you want to contact me and explore more that option, I will be more than happy to put you in contact with that possibility.
Awesome. Bob wanted to know if there's a 24-volt DC option for industry applications on the NUC line.
We were managing 24 DC. Now we are on 20. I will have to check which one of our products is on 24. I believe the boards are 24 and the NUCs are 20, but I can come back to you with a specific answer on that.
All right, we'll get you a more specific answer there. Rich wanted to know, is there any NUCs that support RAID 1 with 2 NVMe SSD drives?
Could you repeat the question, please?
He was wondering, is there any NUCs that support a RAID 1 with 2 NVMe SSDs?
Oh, RAID 1. Yes, the NUC 12 workstation that is coming at the end of Q3 will have that.
Okay.
The NUC 9 that is called Quartz Canyon is already there in the market. It has Xeon. It has that, and I have availability of that product. And those are, I guess, the 2 that I have today that support that RAID 1. Yes, we have that option.
Awesome. Bill wanted to know, do the 12th gen 4x4 form factor NUCs standardize on dual HDMI ports? The previous models only had one HDMI port and a Thunderbolt port for video, and sometimes became problematic with dual monitors. I believe you said it did have two.
Yes. So I believe that he's referring to the NUC performance. We are moving away from that lineup, the one you have right now on the left, and we are
Yep.
basically working with what we call the NUC Pro. So from now on, they will have, at least for now, if the industry standards change, we will be changing that. But for now, we have two HDMIs and two Thunderbolts as part of the offering.
All right. Eric was wondering, is there any NUCs that come with a sound card, which I believe he just means with a dedicated sound out. Most of them, you get your sound out through the HDMI. If that's, I believe that's correct.
So yeah, let me see if I can answer this one. So we offer audio jacks. I'm not sure that's what they are referring to. So you can get the audio through HDMI, through Bluetooth, or through these audio jacks in some of the products, at least, that we offer. Actually, in the picture on the bottom, you can see that you have those audio jacks there.
Yeah, you have a
in the
mic
NUC
in,
Pro
and,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of them have audio in and audio out. But if you're looking for like a dedicated sound card, then you're going up to like the workstation NUC, correct? That you can install your own.
Yes. And we also have a product. It's part of the compute element roadmap, where you have HDMI in and you have audio in. That's probably more for if you are broadcasting, you have that option that you can take it out and bring it in as well. So you have that capability in one of our products. I'm not sure if that's, it's not necessarily a dedicated audio card, but it's an option.
So one more person still looking for clarification on the compute elements.
Yes.
Are they out? Are they out? Are they still coming out? What models are they supported? And again, I think it goes back to, you have it's a two-part thing. You have the compute element, and then you have the chassis it's going into.
Yes. So yeah, the products are already in the market. So we have 8th generation, 11th generation, and 12th generation was just released. So you have those three options depending if you need better price, 8th generation. If you need the latest technologies, 12th generation. And we also have some chassis options, as I have been mentioning. If you go to intel.com/NUC and you look for elements, compute elements in there, you will find the options that we have. And if you are interested, I can actually send you more information on that. Just pick me.
James asked a great question, and this is a last call for questions as we're coming up to the top of the hour. I think James is ending this with kind of a banger of a question. Is there a way to manage drivers and firmwares on multiple NUCs devices at scale? So if you have a deployment of NUCs throughout a building, is there a way that from a single pane of glass, you can manage all of those NUCs, drivers, firmwares, all that stuff? Does Intel have an option for that yet, or is that something they're looking into?
I'm not sure I understand the question fully. vPro actually allows that capability, but I'm not sure if...
So yes.
Yes, so
the answer is vPro then at that point.
If I'm understanding the question correctly, if I'm not, please jump in. But what you're looking to do is do BIOS updates, drivers updates, etc. in an easy way. And if that's the case, vPro is the answer to that, because you can manage the devices remotely, and even if the OS is not working, you can access the device, boot it up, and fix it. And if you want, I don't know, if you have a deployment and you want to make sure that it's not happening during business hours, then you are doing some patches or you are doing some updates on the system, you can actually schedule those through vPro, the vPro platform. And once it gets to the point that it needs the update, it will deploy the updates to every single system that is managed by that platform.
James, we'll get you some more information on vPro. We'll make sure that that's kind of what you're looking for, and if it is, then we can kind of then hook you up there from hardware that has vPro enabled, and go from there. But I think that's going to be a great answer for that. Santi, thank you so much for all the information you provided today. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
If the people that are watching have any additional questions, you can contact us after the fact. There's two email addresses. You have intelspecialist@dnh.com or intelspecialistca@dnh.com if you are on the Canadian side. Again, we have a bunch of resources that are available on this broadcast, whether it's you're watching live or on demand. Go ahead and click on the resources to take a look at that. We do have upcoming broadcasts. Check out dnh.com/DHTV and dnh.com/solutionslab for more information on those. And this broadcast in particular will be available on demand, usually early next week. If you are looking to to replay it or wanted to hear some information again from it. But with that, have a great afternoon, everyone. Santi, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you for the opportunity. And if you have opportunities, bring them on. We're happy to help you.